Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. You just have landed on living in Union County, New Jersey, and today we're going to be talking about the top 3 things people aren't considering when moving here to Union County.
And not only that, we're going to give you insights of a few towns and cities that we think that a lot of people relocating here are looking for, and it might be a good fit for you. So stick through the whole video to learn all about our top towns and reasons that you need to know before making that big move.
So the reason we're making this video is because relocating can be very stressful, especially if you do not know the area. So we work a lot with people that are relocating, so we're giving you our insight as, residents here in Union County, and then also feedback from the people that we've also helped.
As well, we are also agents here, so we're kind of getting a first-hand experience of those people, right. And they're telling us the things that they would have known, should have known before, and kind of if they had a different chance of doing it, how they would change it. And the way we think about it, it comes down to kind of 3 factors, because we're going to tell you the factors in the beginning of the video, and at the end of the video we're going to give you kind of our opinion of what towns might be a good fit. And to start out with, I feel like number 1 factor is going to be your budget and how much you can spend in a property, because at the end of the day, you are coming here, if you are looking to buy something to rent, you're going to have to get that thing out of the way right at the back, pretty much.
Yes, and budget is very important, just because, when you think about Union County, don't think that, your budget is going to stretch everywhere in Union
Right.
County. It's very different depending on the cities, towns that you're looking at. So it's definitely good to start off with a budget to see where in Union County would that budget fit.
And like branching off from the budget, it's also going to come down of what kind of style of home you want.
Right.
Throughout Union County, New Jersey in general is an older state. So a lot of these properties are going to be older. So you're going to have to come down if you're going to want to live in a 1-family, you're going to want to live in a 2-family, a condo, townhouse. If you are looking to get into a 1-family home, like Laura could tell you, there's like so many different style of homes. And it's going to really come down to what style you want. And they're all kind of similar, but they're all a little bit different in different ways.
Right. And if you're looking for a single family home, I mean, the range of, cities and towns that you can go to, it's going to be very vast. Now, if you're looking more for a multifamily, right, that's where it kind of gets a little, your options become limited, just because not in every town you're going to find multifamilies. It's not coming for, all the towns. So that's also something you might want to look into.
And that's something that a lot of people relocating here they kind of brush it away. So they know they're going to buy a house, and it's kind of be an obvious decision. But I always tell everybody that's going to be your number 1. And once you have the style down, you're then going to have to figure out what kind of area you're going to want to be in. Because, even though Union County, we're really near New York City, there's certain towns that are a lot closer. So depending on what the area you want, it's going to be on if you're going to be in the north, south side of Union County. And not only that, everybody wants and needs certain things, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to your budget. So, sometimes you might have to sacrifice certain things to get other things. There's 3 non-negotiables, and throughout the transaction, that changes a lot. So it's kind of getting your budget down, getting your style down, and getting pretty much a good understanding of what you could buy with that money. And that's why you have people like us, because we give you that understanding of how much you can stretch your numbers, and how much we can play with the numbers at the end of the day.
Right, especially when it comes down to the areas.
Right.
So for our second point, it would be lifestyle. That is something that everyone overlooks, and is very important, because at the end of the day, wherever you end up, that's it. You want it to reflect your lifestyle. So if school is important for you guys, then there's a lot of towns that are perfect for families. However, maybe that's not important right now. Everybody has different lifestyles. Commuters.
Right.
You're gonna want something that is a little closer.
Or you might want a town that has a train station, or you might want a town that has a bus. So it's really going to come down what you're looking for. And the cool thing out here in Union County is that maybe certain towns don't have what you need, but others do. And then that kind of accumulates all together, because if you're someone that's trying to start a family, you're going to look for those best school districts, but that it's going to be a little bit of higher price. Or if you're a commuter that doesn't really care about the schools, you might be able to find a little bit better affordability towns and still be next to the city and have the accessibility to commute. So it's really going to come down to what you need as a person, because everybody's a little bit different, but you might be able to find what you need here in Union County.
And guys, I don't want to stress this enough. Lifestyle is so important, because a lot of people do relocate here.
Right.
And maybe they didn't do enough research, or they didn't, really know the area very well. And then everything seems perfect, the house seems perfect, the area seems perfect, and then they move here and they realize it just doesn't fit in with, you know, the type of life they envisioned. So
and for you guys to know, like, we are licensed real estate agents in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm Luca, to this Laura, your relocation expert here in the state of New Jersey. So if you are looking to make that big move, make sure to give us a call, because we do love guiding people in the right direction. Because like Laura said, you don't want to move somewhere and absolutely hate it and expect something else. So make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified every single time we upload a video, because even though we love making this kind of videos, we love helping people out even more relocate here. Like I said, our number's going to come any second now. Make sure to give us a call. We are the people answering all the email, texts, and calls coming our way. And then to get to our last point, which is going to be the work and commute overall. A lot of people that are relocating here are coming from the city, so they're going to need that easy accessibility to get into Manhattan, to get into Brooklyn. The cool thing is that here in Union County, you have a city called Elizabeth, and that's going to get you within the city within 30 to 45 minutes. They have two different forms of transportation, was the bus and train. There are 2 trains in the city itself. But if you want to be more suburban areas, you do have like a town like Rahway, which is all the way down south, but the train gets you in the city within 45 minutes. So, you know, to get in the city is really easy. And if you're working in Jersey, north or south, you're going to want to stay kind of either in the north side of Union County or the south side of Union County, because the thing is that there's so many forms of transportation throughout the Union County in general, that whatever you're at, you're still going to get an easy commute to wherever you want to go.
Right. And then there's some towns that if you do need the transportation, like the train or the bus, it might not have that. Like Clark does not have a train station, but it does have a faster commute than Rahway.
Right. And it's going to be literally, like we said, your overall lifestyle. And a common question we get is like, okay, look guys, we want to reach out. How does it work? And the way it works is that we get on a Zoom call once you reach out. We schedule an appointment. From there, we're going to go over the 3 topics we just spoke about: your wants, needs, where you need to be in, your property style, your overall lifestyle. And from there, we're going to kind of show you different properties, different locations that might apply to you. You'll come down here, we'll show you around and kind of start literally finding down to the exact town you need, because at the end of the day, you need to see exactly what you're looking into. So if you are looking to reach out, that's just the way it works. Right now, we're going to branch into some properties, some towns and cities that we do like and we do recommend to a lot of people commuting.
That people mostly look into when they're looking to relocate, mostly here.
And we're going to take those 3 towns we spoke about and apply for each town or city. All right, so to start out, we're going to start out with Union, New Jersey. It's located north of Elizabeth, 9 square miles around, not a big town, but it has pretty much everything a lot of people relocating need. It has the easy commute to New York City because you are going to have a train. It has the bigger retail names, as you have Route 22 that goes through Union. You have Walmart, you can have Home Depot, you can have LA Fitness. And you have a downtown area for a lot of those younger people are liking it. You have restaurants like El Chingon, we mentioned in the videos. And that's really cool, because the thing with Union, in our opinion, is kind of a mixture of both worlds. You're going to get the urban areas, like the downtown area, the Green Lane. And then you get the super suburban areas like Battle Hill, which is all the way up north of Union.
So in my opinion, Union is probably a very preferred city, especially if you're relocating. And it's one of my preferred cities. Just like you mentioned, it does have everything. And then that Green Lane area is very new, up and coming. They have a lot of new development. The train station is there. King University is there. So it's a little bit more active area.
And let me point out one thing. It's right next to Elizabeth, that area. So you're going to get a lot of that city feel coming into the town, because we say city at Union because it feels like a city. But on paper, it's still a town.
It's still a town.
But it's getting a lot more city-like for sure.
Yeah, in that area, like we mentioned, you're going to see beautiful buildings, new development. So it's going to feel more like a city in the Green Lane area. Throughout Union, it's going to be mostly suburban. The downtown area, maybe it's not going to be as big as maybe the other towns have. It's just going to be mostly restaurants and local shops.
And there's not really much of a nightlife there.
There's not much of a nightlife, but Elizabeth is right next door. So you do have that. Union is mostly suburban, okay? There's a lot of like single family homes, not much multi-families. So that is something that you should know about Union if you're looking to relocate. However, over the years, Union has been changing a lot.
100%. And what's a big negative for a lot of people now, especially the locals, is that it's becoming a lot more congested. So you're going to start seeing that, during peak hours, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. There's a lot of traffic going around since a lot of people from New York are moving to Union. The town, like I said, it's not big, but sometimes it takes you even up to 30 minutes to get across town. So that's a big negative, and that's been happening, especially in the past few years. And something else is that Union has good school districts. They're not the best. It's top 10 in Union County, but you're kind of sacrificing that a little bit because there's towns that are gonna not this video. We talked about other videos like Summit, #1 school district, Union County. But it's a lot more north, a lot more expensive, and very much more suburban. So we think Union is kind of that cool starter home, starter town if you're coming from New Jersey, from another state, because adapting to a suburban and leaving, especially big cities like New York or Miami, it's gonna take you kind of a little bit of a culture shock. So it's really cool coming to a town like Union, getting a little bit of the both
it has
worlds.
Everything you need.
Everything you need, and you're gonna be able to from there maybe explore more of New Jersey, and that's why I always recommend Union as #1 town for a lot of people coming here.
So now we're gonna go a little south from Union, and we're gonna end up in Elizabeth, New Jersey, which is the biggest city in Union County.
And things start changing a lot. Union is a very more it's becoming a city, but Elizabeth is the city of Union County. It's a lot of residents, a lot of things going on. And what a lot of people have been loving about Elizabeth is the commute. You're going to get in the city, Manhattan, within 30, 35 minutes through train or bus. And you have 2 forms of train. So the really big thing about Elizabeth is that there's a lot of different neighborhoods. And you might find that in other towns, but it's very, very obvious here. Because, for example, the Port of Elizabeth is kind of the more commercialized area. When you go from the port to Elmora Hills, Elizabeth, which is another neighborhood up north, extremely changes. You're going from a city to the suburbs in one city, pretty much. And that's kind of the big thing we have to tell a lot of people, because it's not suburban. A lot of places in Elizabeth, you're gonna find more of that New York feel. Nowadays.
Depending where you go in Elizabeth is what you're gonna get. You're either gonna get suburban, you're either get super urban, or you might get somewhere where it's like a little mixture of both. That maybe, one block looks like this, and then you go one block and it's completely different. So it really depends.
And we know this city very well. We were both raised there, and it's going to really come down to what you're looking for if you're coming to Elizabeth. If you're someone that wants to start a family, you might want to look at areas like Elmora Hills, North Elizabeth. If you're someone that wants more of the commute, you might want to look at Elmora, Peterstown. It's really going to depend, and especially if you're looking to invest, Elizabeth's going to probably be the city for you. So many opportunities when it comes to multifamilies and new construction homes. That's kind of going to be like the heart of Union County when it comes to new constructions. There's so many multifamilies going up, so many big commercial condominiums going up, and you're kind of seeing the city evolve from like 3 years ago to now.
It's evolving rapidly, and it's crazy. Even when we go to Elizabeth, sometimes we see it's like, oh look, it's a new construction. Like all the time.
It's ridiculous. And what we've really been feeling, like we said before, a lot of locals been feeling, it's Elizabeth's extremely trafficy.
Congested.
Super congested. And it's been getting worse throughout the years. And it's gonna keep getting worse because so many people have been relocating here. That's what it does to those kind of cities. Something else we wanted to mention is that Elizabeth is one of the only towns that has multiple different high schools, has multiple different middle schools, and so many different elementary schools throughout the whole city. It has over 35, I believe, in total. And that's very different compared to, for example, Union, that's less than 10. You have maybe other more suburban towns that have very few opportunities.
One high school. Some other towns just have one high school. This one has a lot.
And that's kind of a big thing as well. But I think Elizabeth's definitely for maybe that younger person looking to move. That's going to be where you're going to find absolutely all the nightlife of Union County. You have a lot of opportunities there in a lot of different restaurants and lobbies. I mean, bars and lounges.
It has Barcode, which is probably one of the biggest clubs that we have here. I know people from New York do come here for that. And it just got bigger. So you definitely need to check that out.
So it's definitely for that feel. So whenever somebody tells us, it's like, look, I want to be near the city. I really don't care about maybe buying a house. I want to rent out, or I want to be in a condo.
Or, invest.
Kind of just pretty much live a millennial life. Elizabeth might be the best option for you, especially if you're a kind of city person. And before we move into our next towns, there's something that Elizabeth has that's going to help everybody out, and it's the Newark Airport. The Newark Airport connects from Newark to Elizabeth. huge airport. A lot of people that if you're looking to travel, you're going to go here. And not only that, you have the Miller's Jersey Gardens, huge outlet mall. And a lot of the towns and cities here in Union County go to those two locations. Even though it's in Elizabeth, it kind of falls over all the other towns as well.
So overall, if you're looking to move to Elizabeth, I think it's a little trickier when it comes to this town, just because there are so many neighborhoods, there's so many schools. So if you're looking for good schools, Elizabeth does have good schools. It really depends. Okay, not all schools are good. Some are academies, some are not. Some your kid is going to need a GPA to get into those academies. Some schools, they're not going to need a GPA, and those schools, they're not the best. But depending on where you are in Elizabeth, if it fits your lifestyle or not, it's going to depend on where you end up.
Okay, so we were just all the way north of Union County. I'm going to take you down south to Rahway, last town Union County. Very small, right next to the Rahway River. So the highlights, I'm going to go straight into the point, is the train station. Here in Rahway, we have a main downtown area right off Main Street. They're going to have a bunch of bars, restaurants. It's getting a lot more hipster. It's getting a lot more young. Yeah. But across the street practically is the train station. Since Rahway's all the way down south, technically speaking, it should be a longer commute. But since the train goes directly to New York City Penn Station, you're going to get there within 45 minutes, which is huge. Right. We had a client that moved in maybe 3 years ago to one of the buildings there called Skyview. He works in Manhattan, and he gets there every day within 35 minutes. He leaves super early to work. And it's crazy because you'll expect to be commuting a lot longer, and the affordability in Rahway is so much better since it's all the way down south. You're going to find condos, you're going to find one family, you have townhouses. Is really, really cool because we also live in Rahway. We've been seeing the town change so much in the past few years. So many new younger people has been coming to the town, and even the mayor has been helping it so much to grow, because 5 years ago Rahway wasn't the Rahway is today. And it's really nice seeing how much of a town has changed in the past few years.
Yeah, so it's a very big family town, I think, in my opinion. It's also a town for younger people that are looking to commute, and especially if you're commuting, if you're coming from New York, maybe you're used to just taking transportation as your main source of transportation. It's perfect because Rahway is so small, and the walking distance to Rahway to the downtown area is so short, and that downtown area just has everything you might need. And something you need to take into account is that maybe walking distance is very different than the 30-minute drive. And like a town like Rahway, if you're living by the main downtown area, you're gonna not only be near the downtown area, you're going to be near the 1 and 9. That's also going to get you to a lot of things. Right next to Rahway is Linden. They have the Linden Plaza, which has the Walmart. They have Target. They have the bigger retail names. And something that you have to know about Rahway is, even though it is a family town, the school districts aren't great. They aren't great now.
They're definitely one of the lower ones in Union County. They're not terrible, but they're not, like Summit or even Union or even Cranford. But that's something you have to take into account. With that being said, since that's a factor a lot of people do need, affordability goes up a lot because towns have better school districts, usually a little more expensive. So I think Rahway might be a hidden gem for a lot of people coming here, because you're gonna get a lot of that younger feel, the commuter friendly. You're gonna get a very suburban town because it's not urban at all. Even the downtown area is very suburban, but you're gonna be close, like literally a 2-3 minute drive, maybe 5, to Linden Plaza, where you're going to get all the urban, bigger retail names you're going to need. So next on our list, we have Clark, New Jersey. It's right next to Rahway. It's a little bit more suburban than Rahway. And the reason I'm saying this is because it has a little bit of an older feel. There's a lot of millennials that do live in Rahway, but Clark, it's not so much for the younger generation. It's definitely like an older town, and even it's one of the oldest towns in Union County. So that by itself is going to make you understand why. Yeah, and it doesn't really have a downtown area. What it does have is a lot of big retails. I know L'Oreal is based in Clark, but besides that, it doesn't really have a downtown area. It just has a lot of little bigger plazas. It just has a bunch of plazas. But as for a downtown area, it really doesn't have one. But it's a perfect commuter town. I think
getting to New York, it's about like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Driving. But
Right.
if you're looking to commute via train station, it's not. You can't do that. It does not have a train station. So you're gonna have to go to
Clark, for example, or Rahway. Even Rahway, because it's right next door.
Yeah.
And in that plaza Laura talked about, you're gonna find also like the Whole Food. You're gonna find LA Fitness. You're gonna find Chipotle.
Big retail names.
Big retail names right around the corner. You're gonna find a Target, Marshall, McDonald's. But that part of Clark, it's like I would say it's its own independent part.
Right.
Because everything else surrounding that area of Clark is gonna be super suburban.
Super suburban. Yep.
And this town, it's gonna be very picky town. Controversial, has a lot of politics, so you should definitely check into it, you know, when you're in your own time. But it's picky because it's not going to have like the commuter train. There's only one bus that stops by. That downtown area is really like a shopping center with a lot of small mom and pop shops. So it's definitely for that individual that kind of wants to settle down.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to be too much noise going around the town. With that being said, price range a little more expensive than Rahway. You're definitely getting those little bit bigger homes,
right? And
you're paying definitely that premium because now we're pushing into that Cranford area style.
Right. But if you do like towns like Cranford, Westfield, but the affordability, want something more affordable, but you want something as maybe suburban, right. Clark is a good option.
And you kind of have an understanding now. Union County, we went north, we went south, we went west, we went east. So you kind of see that depending on what part of Union County you're going to be in, is what feel you're going to get. And it's very hard to do that when you're not living here. So make sure if you are looking to make that move, get on a Zoom call with us. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And we're going to really go into detail exactly what you're looking for and what you're going to need. So if you're looking to make that big move, make sure to give us a call. Our number is going to be coming up any second now. And again, we are your relocation experts here in Union County, New Jersey.